Hey, what's up, Jaycationers? Welcome to another video. Now, it's been a while since I've done a video on Barcelona, so I figured I'd release this now. I actually went back through my old library and found this footage of longboarding through Barcelona with a GoPro attached to my roommate Raval's scooter. Now, this footage is really cool. We've gone through some really cool neighborhoods and you'll see it over the next 30 minutes. I'm gonna stick with you and do some commentary on what I see in the video and also talk about the places that I enjoyed about these areas that we longboarded through. Now, if you're watching me for the first time, my name is JJ Manicus. I do videos on Barcelona, I do travel videos, Filipino culture videos, and food videos. So if you want to see more content that I'm doing, please support me and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And if you want to go even further than that, go check out my Patreon. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this little longboarding tour around Barcelona, Spain. So we're gonna start off this tour in the L'Eixample district where I live and move over to Sant Antoni, the Sant Antoni neighborhood. Now, see those dogs right there? So my electric skateboard, I think it emits a sound that only dogs can hear because look at that dog right there, just barking right at me. I think my electric longboard emits some sort of sound that triggers these dogs. And for 2 years, every time I'm passing a dog, luckily these owners have their leashes on these dogs because they lunge at me. And I'm a really fidgety person, so like I always flinch when the dog tries to flinch at me. But the owners usually have I've never gotten bitten by a dog, so the owners usually have their leash on it. So we're here in Sant Antoni. We're passing Jaydaheat, which is my favorite cafe in all of Barcelona, and it's on the border of L'Eixample and Sant Antoni. I think this street right now is Borrell. And yeah, Jaydaheat, they've got some really great chai lattes, awesome breakfast. They got the avocado bagel with avocado salmon bagel. Love it. And we're now turning on to Florida Blanca. Now, Florida Blanca, there's a bunch of cool bars, cafes, and there's a burger joint over here called Mama Ildi. Really good burgers. And yeah, Florida Blanca is pretty cool. They got some really cool local ma and pa stores, and you also turn the corner here as we're turning. There's a rotisserie chicken place there that's really good. Now we're here in Sant Antoni, and this is Urgell. Now this rooftop right here, they used to hold like little fairs, book fairs, and beer fests under this overhang, but they actually took this overhang down, and it's now just a through street. We're also passing by a Catalan restaurant called Can Cargolet, where you can get the snails, calçots in the spring, the famous calçots, the spring onions that are really good. Can Cargolet, I actually been meaning to do a video over there, and hopefully one of these days I get to return to Barcelona and do that. So, we got to sift through the traffic. We use the crosswalks, and I got full control of my longboard with my actually use my phone. There's an app where I use to control to hit the gas and hit the brakes with my with the touch of my finger. So that's how I use and control my longboard. So this is Sant Antoni. We're right by the Mercat de Sant Antoni. You can see it right there in the red. And we're now turning. You got those tobacco shops, and you can see me screwing around a little bit, messing around a little bit on the longboard. This area right here has a bunch of nice bakeries and places to grab coffee. And there's a place here called what is it called? Cash and Carry. And Cash and Carry is like a Filipino type grocery store. And it's right here. And this is the old Sant Antoni temporary stalls. And this is actually gone now, and it's actually turned into a Rambla. Yeah, and I have to like kind of weave my way through all the walking foot traffic and stuff here. And yeah, I catch up with Raval. But right there in that area is I've done a video of a Barcelona buffet. It's teppanyaki place, and that's where it is. That's where that all-you-can-eat buffet is. Now we are actually leaving Sant Antoni and entering the neighborhood of El Raval. Now there are parts of Raval that are really, really hood, and there are parts of Raval that are actually pretty cool and eclectic. And there's a lot of cool, unique shops and places to eat. This is where you get all the kebabs, where a lot of the Filipinos live, is over here in Raval. So we're sifting through this random street. I don't know the name of this street here in Raval, but this is the way you can actually cut. It'll go all the way to the La Rambla. It's a side way to get to La Rambla, and yeah, we're just taking the side streets here. Pretty cool buildings. You know, look at this pink building here, and it's like you really don't notice it when you're ground level, but this is really cool. This is a really cool point of view, and I'm actually glad that I did this footage with my roommate Raval. Now we were on the way to this to the Ayuntamiento of Barcelona, because I was actually moving out of my apartment at the time, and we were taking my name out of the apartment list. Now look at all these cool balconies in Raval. You know, people actually go out on their balconies, and instead of using the phone, just shout out at people during the day. I'll disappear here for a little while. I cut into this this huge wide sidewalk, and yeah, this is a cool area right here. And we're now turning the corner. You'll see a lot of La Caixas. That bank right there, you can see with the yellow logo. That was my bank while I was in Barcelona, and you see those in like every corner. They're like a Wells Fargo here in San Diego. And there's a really cool Vietnamese restaurant that we just passed over there. It's called Bun Bo, and they have a few locations around Barcelona. Bun Bo has really great pho, and if you're looking for Vietnamese food, there's actually a few pho spots around that area that are really good. But I do prefer the location by the Cathedral de Barcelona, and that Bun Bo is right next to the Kissing Lips mural. Now we're here in the area of Macba. That's where all the skateboarders are. There's a plaza there where the skaters skate, and then that brick building directly behind me that looks old school. They have a bunch of events and stuff over there. I saw there's like a new Nokia event that went on there one of these days. And this area right here is where all the boutique shops are. So you get a bunch of local boutique shops that sell, a little more pricey apparel. You get some hipster hotels around here. I believe that gate right there is a private school for the kids. And yeah, I'm bobbing and weaving through the people traffic here. And this is actually a really cool area. And they have a few t-shirt shops. And a few blocks down, you get all the thrift stores, all the thrift store shopping in Barcelona, and that's where I go to, check out some thrift stores when I want to go shopping there. Now we're turning the corner. Right here in this corner is where they actually have the Jose Rizal, the Philippine hero, the La Solidaridad plaque. That's Phil Manila, which is one of the Filipino restaurants in Barcelona that you've seen in a bunch of my videos. And in this plaza, you got really cool cafes and bars that you can sit out and hang out, and there's a bunch of benches. And yeah, now we're here at the Ayuntamiento with Raval. We're skating around. I gotta put down my name out of the apartment, so we're going to do that right now. We're gonna miss you, bro. Skating around, bro. So living here for 2 years, I quickly learned the back streets and shortcuts on how to cut through town, especially if, I was trying to get from point A to B. And using Raval and cutting through Raval in this area was really fast and efficient for me, especially living in the border of L'Eixample and Sant Antoni. So we just finished over at the Ayuntamiento, and we're now gonna just cruise over to more parts of Barcelona. And yeah, you know, you gotta slow down every now and then because there's a bunch of people. Now my GoPro's stuck onto the back of Raval's his scooter, his electric scooter, which he's since sold. He's sold his electric scooter because they got like super fast electric scooters, and I guess if it goes a certain speed, you have to have a helmet, and the guys didn't like wearing helmets. And my skateboard goes just below 12 miles per hour, which is about 19 kilometers. Now, this is a street where there's a Carrefour, as you can see we just passed. That Carrefour is where I go to buy all my toiletries, because they have a lot of travel-sized toiletries when I go on my weekend trips. But this runs parallel to La Rambla, so it's a couple streets to the side of La Rambla. So if you don't want to be around the crowds of the people in La Rambla, and you just really want to walk through this area, go through these side streets. Now, there's really cool bars and cafes also around this area with people sitting outside and enjoying the sun. But at night, it could be kind of scary because it's kind of, yeah, you know, there's still a lot of lights, as you can see. But yeah, if you want to cut through this area instead of using La Rambla, this is usually what I did, was going through this area. Now, we're going towards the Boqueria Market, the San Joseph Boqueria, and if you just kept going straight, I think we actually turned before it, but if we kept going straight instead of turning left like we did there, you eventually hit the Boqueria Market. And now I got off the skateboard because we are actually crossing La Rambla, and you can't really be on a skateboard while you're on La Rambla, so we were actually just cutting across it. So I decided to pick it up. That's what I loved about my longboard, was that when I got to use it, I can just pick it up and walk into a store or walk into a cafe and set it beside me and watch over it. Instead of, like, if I had a bike, you have to lock it up somewhere. And bike theft is really common in Barcelona. I know a lot of people that have bikes and their bikes get stolen. My barber's bike has gotten stolen multiple times. Now, this here to the right is a church. You'll see it off of La Rambla. It's in the middle of the La Rambla. And yeah, there's a Starbucks around this area. This is near the Nike area of La Rambla. La Rambla is really long, and we're walking towards San Joseph Boqueria. It would be to my right where I'm walking, and yeah, it's just always crowded in the middle of the day. You got to be careful. See, there's cops right there. They're always watching. They're always watching over and making sure people are safe, because there's pickpockets. But I'm telling you, if you get pickpocketed, there's nothing really much an officer can do for you if they don't see anything. They'll basically laugh and tell you to report it. And sometimes you'll get lucky and find the wallet in the trash can or something, but most of the time they just take your money. Now, we actually stopped. I don't know why I stopped recording there, but we actually skipped through the Gótico area, and now this is the edge of El Gótico, and yeah, this is the edge of Gótico and almost to the border of El Born, and we're actually going towards Port Vell. This is one of the alleyways that yeah, look at this, nice and sunny out here. And once you get out to this area, you see that Spanish flag there to the left. I don't know what this building is. Comment below, guys, if you're familiar with Barcelona, but you'll always see this building with the big Spanish flag, and you see it from Port Vell. There's a huge long boardwalk we're about to skate through, and this building, it looks like some sort of Spanish government building or something like that. But this is Port Vell, and the way we're going is towards La Barceloneta, but we don't quite get to La Barceloneta. We turn around in a couple minutes here, or a couple seconds. But this is an awesome straightaway through Port Vell. I used to run here a lot, and it was just great because I used to run 6 miles, 3 miles all the way to the W Barcelona, and then 3 miles back to where I lived. Now you can see those bubbles Those bubbles are really cool. And there's this famous lobster sculpture right here. We'll pass by that again when we turn around, and that lobster sculpture is really cool. It's a nice little unique decoration to Port Vell, and there's so many other sculptures around Port Vell that makes this walk so enjoyable towards La Barceloneta beach, to the La Rambla. And over there to the right, you see those buildings. That's near where El Born is. There's another sculpture that's really famous that you can take pictures of. And if you kept walking there, we eventually hit the Black Lab Brewery and the Museum of Catalonia. But instead, we just decided to turn around. We weren't going to go all the way to the beach. It was still another 5 minutes from there, but I think we were kind of strapped for time. Raval had work, and I think I was getting ready to leave. And there's the balloon. The bubbles, and then the lobster again. And yeah, this is a really nice area, wide open, where you can bike, longboard, walk, jog, whatever you want. But if you're strapped for time, it's a long walk and it gets tiring, but it's pretty flat. But if you're strapped for time and you want to hop on one of these pedicabs, there's pedicabs that can take you all the way to the beach. And this is a really cool area. And over to the left of me, towards the water, is Mare Magnum. And then on the other side, where that government building is, there's the shot bar, Espit Chupitos. That there's a shot bar around there, and there's many of those towards the city, and they have over like 300 different types of shots. And so we're skating towards the Columbus Monument, which you will see coming up. And then if I were to hook a right at that roundabout where the Columbus Monument is, I would hit La Rambla again. But La Rambla is just so far. Yeah, that's as cool as I get on my skateboard. I don't know how to do any tricks or whatnot. Yeah, but those are those pedicabs right there. You can rent those, and they can take you to the beach within 10 minutes. And I don't know how much they charge, but that's an option you can do. And then those bikes right there are what the locals use to get from place to place. I think you have to be a local and have a certain status to get those bikes. But there are bike places that you can rent bikes from that are really easy and really cheap to go to get. Now we're entering the Mare Magnum area, and then this is where they sell. This is where a lot of the fake goods are sold. So you see the purses there, obviously, souvenirs, eyeglasses, jerseys, and you can really haggle with those guys. And there it is. There's the Columbus Monument right there. That's the Columbus roundabout. La Rambla's on the other side of that. Mare Magnum and Port Vell's on that water side. And right there you see the W Barcelona across the way, but you kind of have to go around it to get to the W. But it's a beautiful walk, beautiful run. And I seldomly took my longboard over there. I'd rather exercise and run, but this was kind of my route when I used to run to the beach. And now we're on the bike lane with the Columbus Monument right behind me. Now you could actually take an elevator on that Columbus Monument. I've done that on one of my videos in the past. Now it looks really thin, but there is an elevator that'll take you straight up to the top there, and you'll get a beautiful view of Port Vell and a nice view of La Rambla. And you'll see all these really cool pictures of La Rambla from the top, and that's where those pictures are taken. And do a little adjustment there to the camera. Now, I wish I did more of these longboard rides. This is actually really cool. Now that's the Drasanes shipyards to the left, and then to the right is the cruise ship terminal, and you can see those towers right there. And that really cool roundabout has all these like metal circular rings. But you see that's the Montjuic. The Montjuic cable cars that will take you all the way from La Barceloneta to Montjuic. and that's where you'll see the Montjuic Castle. There's a really cool aquatic swimming area there where you overlook Barcelona, where they had the Olympics. The Olympic Stadium is there, of course. Now there's the cops, but the cops are actually pretty cool. That's the cops right there. That yeah, I mean you're allowed to not have a helmet on with the equipment that we had at the time, but I think Raval's scooter became too fast and he was required to have a helmet, and they'd fine you if they caught you without a helmet. And my skateboard was slow enough to where I didn't need to wear a helmet. So that's the Drassanes shipyards where that wall is, and that's where the Game of Thrones exhibition is. They have a bunch of different events, like I think they even have weddings and stuff over there. So that's Drassanes. We're now on Parallel. Parallel has pretty cool theaters. We're passing by this park right here. Now this park right here, to the right of you on the screen, it actually used to have a Messi mural with this famous graffiti artist called, his name is Axe Colors. I actually did a video on him and his Game of Thrones murals around town. But there was a Messi mural there once upon a time. Now here in Parallel, there's some souvenir shops, some Pakistani souvenir shops where you can get some FC Barcelona goods, and then yeah, for cheap. You could get it for pretty cheap over in this area. And they actually have some pretty cool restaurants around this area. The Teatre Apollo is here. They have various theaters and cinemas here in the Parallel area, and there's some bars, rooftop bars at some of the hotels here. So Parallel will start all the way from where Port Vell ends and the cruise ship terminal ends, and it goes all the way to Plaza Espana, and that's as far as this tour is gonna go. And yeah, that's the Trip Apollo. That's a really nice hotel, and it's, as you can see, it's really close to a lot of the things that you'd want to see, especially if you like being near the water in Barcelona. It's maybe a 10-minute walk to the water, or a quick cab ride to the beach. Now there's also various seafood restaurants around here. You see that McDonald's. Behind it is where the Pinchos streets are. The Blau, Tasqueta de Blau, where the Pinchos, the cheap Pinchos restaurants are. So if you want to have Pinchos, it's over there to the right. And let's see, we're skating, we're longboarding through Parallel, and eventually, so like to the right of the screen would be where Montjuic is, and that's Montjuic Hill, where the castle and all the Olympic Palau Sant Jordi, the arena of Barcelona. Now, if you like to hike up the hill, there are trails and steps that you can use to hike up there, but there is a funicular. There is a funicular that you can use with your regular Metro pass, a regular Metro card, that will take you to the top of the hill without having to struggle. Now, sometimes it's hard to find that. It's not really that hard to find that funicular, guys. Just find it on your Google Maps, take that up. It'll save you a 15-20 minute walk, and you'll have a lot more energy. I would take it up, I would take it down, because it's just a lot easier to use. Now, like I said, if you have the time and you want to hike up there. I actually did a couple of runs straight up there from my house, and it's only about 1.5 miles to get up to the top of the castle, but it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle going up those stairs. Now we're just passing this, there's this burger place here called The Good Burger. It's a nice gourmet burger spot. You'll find it around Barcelona. That was pretty cool. Now, if you guys have any questions or comments about Barcelona, comment below. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here. Join me on my adventures, and I'm trying to get more Barcelona content, even though I'm currently back home in San Diego. So, obviously we got to be waiting in these stoplights here in Parallel. And there's a couple metro lines down Parallel. It's the green line, the Linya 3, the line 3. That's the line that you would take to take you to Les Courts, to the Camp Nou, where FC Barcelona plays. So it's only about a 5-minute walk from my house to get to that metro, and line 3 will take you to a lot of spots, like up to Camp Nou and around the city. I think it also goes all the way towards the mountain and to the Gracia, the Via de Gracia. So we're still here on Parallel, and we're going towards the Plaza Espana, and over to the left of the screen is the neighborhood of Sant Antoni, and I really love Sant Antoni. If I were to live in Barcelona full time, I'd probably choose Sant Antoni because it's still central, but there are streets there that are really quiet, and it's just close to a lot of things. And that's where I lived for 2 years, was Sant Antoni and L'Eixample, that border, that district. And you see these gas stations here in the corners. You'll see these are how the gas stations are set up in Barcelona, kind of like that. A bunch of tobacco shops. Unfortunately, a lot of people still smoke over in Barcelona. And we have a slight incline here on Parallel, and we're headed towards the Plaza Espana. And Plaza Espana is where you'll see the former Bull Arena, Arenas de Barcelona, and you can go shopping there. You can go to the very top of the arena and overlook Plaza Espana, and then you can go to the Magic Fountains. We're actually headed towards the Magic Fountains and Plaza Espana, and that's where they have a lot of events. There's convention space over there, and the Mobile World Congress holds some of their events in that area. And then if you keep going down more, the Mobile World Congress has more space in the convention area near where Gran Via Dos is, which is a mall. Let's see. So we're trying to game plan here what we're gonna do. I think me and Raval, we're running out of time, and I think I just needed to do laundry this day and go to the bank and close my bank account. And then Raval had work at night, and Raval works at Bar Estudiantil. Shout out to Bar Estudiantil. I hope you guys open up soon, and I hope all the cafes and restaurants start opening up soon in Barcelona. And even though tourists can't come back into the country right now, but hopefully locals can come into Barcelona and see their own city and see their own country. Now look at Uncle over there. Uncle's in his bike right there. You know, he passed me, but I could overtake him because my skateboard goes faster than his bike does, and it's electric. That's my hoverboard. I feel like Marty McFly when I'm on that thing. But you know, I was never a skateboarder my whole life. But before I moved to Barcelona, I wanted this type of means of transportation to get around, because I took this to my school, and from the metro to my school usually would be about a 15-minute walk if I didn't have my skateboard. And with my skateboard, it cut it down immensely. Now to the right, that's kind of where the convention space, I believe, of Plaza Espana is, and that's the border of where you go to Plaza Espana to check out the Magic Fountains and the museum up there. What's the name of the museum? I think it's the MNAC. Is that right? MNAC building. And that's where that's a really cool museum that I've never gone to. I actually wanted to go there on a Sunday when it was free, but I actually never had the chance to. So we're ending from the beginning of Parallel and ending this at Plaza Espana, which is where we're at right here. And this is a big hub, Plaza Espana. From Plaza Espana, you can actually hop onto a Rodalies train to Montserrat and get to different parts of the city from there. Now there's the Aerobus. I believe this Aerobus is going towards the airport. Aerobus is definitely my favorite source of transportation to and from Barcelona airport. Now you can see that tower right there, and that's the tower of that'll lead in towards the magic fountains in Montjuic, and there's a lot of steps up there, and I used to run a route that I'd go up those stairs, and it'll lead you to the Palau Sant Jordi, the arena in Barcelona, and then also the Olympic Stadium. So that's the way that I would take, and a lot of steps up there. They also have tennis courts up there and so many other parks. So Montjuic is so vast. There's so many things you can do in Montjuic. And there's a really nice garden, a botanical garden you can go to over there. And we turned the corner. We're gonna go back towards Gran Via. To the right is the roundabout of Plaza Espana, and right here where we cross the street, look at this guy like just looking at the electric skateboard. Luckily, you never know, man. You gotta watch yourself. I have zippers in my shorts. But there's a police station right across here. Alright, Jaycationers, I hope you enjoyed this little 30-minute tour. Now, I was inspired by watching all these different walking tour videos, and I thought it would be a really unique thing to show you this footage that I never released of me longboarding throughout Barcelona. So if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. Comment below what kind of Barcelona videos would you like me to put out in the future. Now, I'm back in San Diego during this pandemic, and I do have footage that is still unreleased of Barcelona, and I'm gonna do my best to repurpose and put it out there. Once again, subscribe and hit that notification bell, like the video, and check out my Patreon if you wanna support me even more than that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, Jaycationers.